Here we are looking down at the supply line of the grow bed, which of course is connected to the dump tank, which should be cycling here very quickly. It's coming up close to the top. I just took a look into the dump barrel, so it fills up slowly in the dump barrel, but once the siphon really kicks in, it goes quite quickly. One of the things that we added here on this system, which is a good idea, we have at the end of the supply line a valve and a hose bib. Occasionally you'll need to drain out the system for various reasons, so it's nice to have this extra item added, because then you can use the water to maybe irrigate trees, fruit trees, or other, maybe a dirt garden bed. And so very good thing to do. As you can see here in this shot, the water is coming up, just about ready to cycle and flow into our supply lines. When the water level reaches that cross tube, it will begin to release. And you will see these supply lines here into each grow bed begin to flow a little bit. And once the whole line is filled with water, they will kick in with a great force. And so we'll be showing you that in just a second. I want to climb down and get a good view of that. But this shows you the water level coming up pretty high. It's almost to the top of the barrel. But it will have to reach the top of that little U, the U part of those tubes. So it comes in here, and the one end of the U pipe is open. So as the water level increases, that water follows that tube up. And once it crosses over there, it will then flow out into these supply lines. Okay, as you can see now, the dump barrel has reached the level of the top of the U, and we have some water just barely starting to come out. And once this tube fills up, you'll be able to see the system, how it drains very quickly. So I'm just going to get back here a little ways, and you can see it'll start to build pressure, and there it goes. You can actually hear it. Now it's in the full siphon mode. This will take approximately, I think, 8 or 10 minutes to dump. It takes about an hour to fill, and about, I think, 8 or 10 minutes to dump out completely into the grow beds. Now they're completely empty, or at least empty down to the zone, the wet zone at the bottom, and now they'll fill up to about 1 inch from the top of the gravel and then slowly drain out. Now you might notice in this one bed we have no gravel in. The plan for this bed is to use it to grow duckweed, which can be beneficial for several reasons. One is that it can actually help purify the water even further, and two, it provides a good source of food for the tilapia. The tilapia are an omnivorous fish and can eat both meat and also vegetables, vegetable matter. So the duckweed, very high source of protein, and is a great fish food to supplement the feed that you are going to be giving to your fish. Now also in the meantime, where you want to try this as a compost tea barrel, we're going to get some compost later on today and actually make compost tea in this barrel, which we will put the compost in like a cheesecloth, tie it up here, and let that nutrient of the compost leach out into the system. Since this system is not fully cycled, which could take up to 6 weeks and beyond, the plants will need a nutrient source, because the colonization of the bacteria will not have been completed in just the first few weeks here. So the compost tea will actually give a nice source of nutrients to the plants, which I hope we can plant in the next day or two. Now another thing too, just as a way of information, all these fittings here are not glued. We do put some silicone on the bulkhead fitting between the barrel, inside and outside of the barrel, but other than that, all these fittings here are loose, can be taken apart so that you can clean and maintain your system. If some of the drain holes get plugged, it can be easily taken off and cleaned. For instance, this cap here can be taken off and cleaned if some of the gravel gets in there. This is a gravel guard. Keeps the gravel from getting into this whole drain system and keeps the drain nice and clear. So there we have the siphoning system. It's always a great event the first time the siphon goes off. You have all your workers that have been working hard. This is generally a week-long project. We actually completed this in about 3 long days. The 4th day we were finished with it and taking videos and pictures with the team. We had a group of missionaries here that were working on this system. What a great team. Really enjoyed working with them. And then being here for the first cycle of this siphoning is always quite an event. People cheer, and it's wonderful to see your work actually coming to be. So anyways, this is the draining and the supply of the grow beds. Go and zoom in here a little bit. See the force. It's coming out pretty good. And then it will slowly decrease and decrease and then shut off completely. It does need to shut off completely to give time for that wet dry zone to drain, so that we get aeration, oxygen to the root zone, which is that wet dry zone.